Gwen Tennyson was low-key the only reason I ever gave a about the Ben 10 franchise.
I said, leave him alone!
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
For those of you blessed with ignorance, Ben 10 follows the eponymous Ben, a selfish, impulsive 10-year-old kid who discovers a mysterious watch called the Omnitrix, which allows him to temporarily transform into aliens with wildly different superhero abilities.
Hey, Grandpa, guess who?
It's me, Grandpa.
He then uses the Omnitrix to play hero, helping people and fighting various extraterrestrial and supernatural evils with the help of his retired space cop grandfather Max and his nerd dweeb cousin Gwen. Also, sometimes he's a selfish prick.
I love the circus!
That's because you belong in one.
But it's fine, he's 10, so he gets a pass here. He won't later. The franchise was a massive Cartoon Network hit, spawning several spin-off shows and a reboot that apparently no one likes. Winx fans can relate. Actually, I'm pretty sure there's a big overlap between Winx and Ben 10 fans. It feels like they share a lot of DNA. I wasn't too big on the original series, instead getting more invested in the 2 sequel series that follow a 15-year-old Ben on more allegedly mature adventures, Alien Force and Ultimate Alien.
Kevin, that's a $400 speeding ticket.
I know. I think it's a personal record.
You would have found a way to win even if your father hadn't shot the giant alien with the space bazooka.
The main reason for my interest in these 2 seasons is the only female member of our lead trio, Gwen, who admittedly has had most of her personality muted since the original series, but also plays a more active role through her magic. See, in the original series, Gwen gradually began dabbling in spell casting, allowing for more supernatural-based stories to complement the alien ones.
Twista Combatinus! That was cool! Just wish I knew how I did it.
However, the way that this was expanded on in Alien Force has invited quite a bit of contention, as some feel that Gwen's interesting powers had been watered down and basic bitchified. And they're not wrong. However, my real problems lie more so past Alien Force's first 2 seasons, where Gwen suddenly loses all of her brain cells and is nowhere near as skilled or creative with her powers as she once was. It's mostly generic energy blasts that fail and shields that break at the slightest breeze. It pissed me off then, and it still pisses me off now, so now it's time to get my revenge by getting a check for my rage. Let me tell you something, Ben 10 franchise!
Let me tell you something, Jared of Pantophage. I just jumped down your throat. You start a war with the Lodens, and I will do it again. Only next time, I will knit your intestines into a sweater.
I'm sorry, the older I get, the more fun Wrath becomes. And who knows, I've been on a Ben 10 kick recently, so maybe I might make more content, maybe I'll bitch some more, maybe if y'all enjoy it. So let's talk 10 Gwen. Why did people like her? Why do I stan her? And how do the writers fail her completely and utterly? Is it because men writing women? I mean, god damn it. Oh, and we're not talking Omniverse. I never watched Omniverse. Gwen left the cast in like episode 1 and I went, I'm out, and I left with her.
I can't believe you're really going to leave.
Later, losers!
Before we begin, ciao. My name's Thomas, aka the Unicorn of War, and I make videos about whatever media is rotting my brain at the moment. And right now, that is the case where I defend our poor Gwenny. If you enjoy what you find here, then be sure to subscribe and ring that bell for notifications, because YouTube hates creators. Also, if you're willing and able, please consider pledging your support for myself and the channel over on Patreon. You get early access scripts and videos, Patreon exclusive content, and access to the private Union of War Discord server. Now, without further ado, let the chaos commence. Ben and Gwen have always been 2 sides of the same coin.
Each activity is color-coded, so I never did the same thing 2 days in a row. Now I'm stuck with my geekazoid cousin going camping for 3 months.
Geek.
Jerk.
Something tells me it's gonna be a long summer.
Gwen often likes to act like she's above Ben's impulsive, short-sighted behavior, and sometimes she is.
The one thing about old people is they don't want to be reminded they're old.
I wouldn't worry about Grandpa getting mad at me saying stuff like that.
And why's that?
Because he can't hear me over your nagging. I got you beat.
She often tries to position herself as the more mature, responsible one who is eager to grow up and leave childish things behind. In truth, though, she's about as petty as Ben.
Rock, paper, scissors. On 3.
You are so on. You always lose.
She's just better at trying to keep it in check. Initially, Gwen and Max offer their support through their specific skill sets, and helping Ben out when he is de-transformed and can't use the Omnitrix. For Gwen, that involves her Google Foo that she inherited from her predecessor, Willow.
I cross-referenced the Arcomeda Book of Spells with Dark Magical Charms, and look, it's part of a set called the Charms of Bazel. This charm is luck.
Which, wow, Gwen is like Willow from Buffy if Willow had a spine from Jump. Holy shit. Oh, and now I'm angry we didn't get a Dark Gwen story. God damn it.
What's this? Bag of tricks?
Bag of knives.
We eventually see the introduction of Hex, an evil sorcerer who is after the charms of Bazel, which each hold a specific magical power. This is a departure from our usual antics, where we're either dealing with petty criminals or alien threats, expanding the world of Ben 10 to include the mystical, which could potentially overlap with the extraterrestrial. Gwen winds up with the charm of luck, which makes it as though she were a walking 4-leaf clover.
You've had 11 crawfish to my 9.
Sounds like it's time to make it an even dozen.
I don't think so.
Youch!
With this, she dons the superhero identity of Lucky Girl, allowing her to feel just as useful as Ben with the Omnitrix. And obviously, she learns the lesson of, you don't need this external thing to be a hero, just like how Ben's had to learn over and over and over again.
You know, you two make a pretty impressive team.
Made. Now that my power's history.
Hey, you did the right thing. Destroying those charms.
I guess. What can I do without my powers?
Hey, you never needed magic powers to help out before.
But it was a nice 15 minutes for Gwen regardless. We later meet Hex's niece, Charmcaster,
I love being a witch.
who has a literal bag of tricks to unleash magical rock golems, flying steel blades that can grow to the size of that giant rotating wheel that Jack Sparrow ran on in that one god-awful movie, and various other lethal enchantments. Sadly, while Gwen doesn't have much of a rivalry with Hex, she does get to have one with Charmcaster as her nemesis. Specifically when Charmcaster returns to try and switch bodies with Ben to get the Omnitrix, only to wind up accidentally switching bodies with Gwen. This momentarily forces Gwen, in Charmcaster's body, to use her spellbook to break out of jail and warn her family.
I just don't know exactly what it is.
Gwen keeps the spellbook, occasionally trying out different spells, and becomes more and more proficient as the series continues.
Aquata, Ryza, Spaglata! Furious Expectorium! Furious Expectorium Perpetua!
Hey, Grandpa! Take a lesson in double teaming from the experts.
The what? Lagura! Sinew Invisivis! Forces Nebulae! Mercutius Verditis!
By the 4th season, she's creating tornadoes and geysers, she's shooting beams of energy, fire and lightning, and she's levitating by Dua Lipa.
I'm levitating.
There are also episodes where we get a glimpse into the future Sailor Moon style. In a futuristic city that I assume is Ben's hometown of Bellwood, Ben 10,000 is celebrated as a hero, with countless alien forms at his disposal. Gwen, meanwhile, has become a full-fledged sorceress, with several charms on her outfit to grant herself countless magical abilities.
You're... me? Gwen?
Actually, I've been going by Gwendolyn since college.
Including the charms of Bezel, which, according to certain fan rumors or things from writers or whatever, apparently she traveled to Bezel's dimension, the guy who made those charms to begin with, and had him make more charms for her? Cunty queen. And might I say, killer look. The design with the short hair and the balance of black and blue, the hood, the scarves, the charms all along her sleeves. She looks fabulous. So with this foundation, it is easy to see how an older Gwen could eventually grow into a full-on hero just as capable as Ben. And we kinda get that, but in a way that left a lot of people dissatisfied. It's me, I'm people. The pitch of Alien Force is simple. Ben and Gwen, now 15, team up with Ben's former rival Kevin, and together they fight against the invasion of a supremacist alien race known as the Hybrid.
I do not repeat myself to lower life forms. What are you doing on my ship?
Did you just call me a lower life form?
I'm pretty sure he did.
And while he may have a point, it's rude to say so.
Picture the Hybrids with clan hoods or as modern Republicans, and you'll get a solid idea of what they're about. Personally, this and Ultimate Alien are the era of the Ben 10 franchise that I am the most familiar with and the most invested in. I just tend to gravitate towards the older versions of the characters. That said, its flaws have become more apparent to me as time has gone on. Firstly, the art style is way more simplistic. Simple is not inherently bad, but like, girl, what is this? The colors are sometimes more saturated, but also much flatter. The original series tended to have textures in a lot of the backgrounds and played a lot with the colors of its environments for the sake of mood. Whereas Alien Force opts for black and blue backgrounds, mostly because it's always set at night, and night is always black and blue in this show, every time. Gwen's design suffers for this quite a bit. Firstly, her style has changed to be more preppy, but not cute preppy, more academic preppy. She's got longer hair, which I do like, but her hair has gone from a bright orange to a darker red that doesn't stand out nearly as much. This, her dark blue top, and her black skirt and leggings consistently keep blending into the dark backgrounds. And there's nothing about this design that says anything about her besides private school student, because apparently this is literally her school uniform. Like, girl, do you not wear anything else when you're out of school? Classic Gwen's outfit was kinda basic, but also had more personality, largely thanks to the brighter colors, the cute little hair clip, and her beloved cat emblem, whatever happened to it. Gwen's personality likewise has been muted.
Ben. Still undefeated. Compliments means you want something.
She does get some of her "I'm so fed up with these morons" energy back as we progress through this era, but it is nowhere near the level of her old self.
If you don't get the rust bucket back, I'll show you bad. Doubt it. What happens when this is all over and Grandpa comes home? Where's he gonna live then?
Do I have to separate you two?
You could argue that she's become more composed and well-spoken since then, but personally, this reads to me like we scrubbed Gwen of her flaws and personality. Now, in terms of combat, Gwen is a bit more capable than she was in the original series. Firstly, she's still got her martial arts skills, but a lot more honed. These aren't all that prominent beyond the first 2 seasons of Alien Force, but it's something while it lasts. I do love a martial arts lady. Phoebe Halliwell would be proud. So this being dropped very quickly does piss me off quite a bit. The real issue is how Gwen's magic is handled, and I mean magic in air quotes.
Humans with alien ancestors are actually pretty common. That's what you are. You get your powers through your grandpa.
I get my powers from magic talismans and books.
Yeah, right. Magic.
How are we doing this again?
Magic.
It ain't magic.
Magic runs in the family? I knew it!
Honey, there really is no such thing as magic. Your grandma's an alien.
For the first 2 seasons of Alien Force, gone are the verbal spells that had various effects from the original series. Instead, Gwen relies solely on energy powers: bolts, blasts, beams, shields, and platforms.
You're getting really good at that stuff.
Thanks.
She is basically Green Lantern without the ring, but also without the overly complex constructs or the flight. Also, it's pink. Gwen's magic was largely blue in the original series, and for Gwen 10,000, yellow and sometimes red. So why is it pink now? Cynically, I want to say it's because she's the girl of the group and pink equals girl. Ugh. But really, I think it's because the bright pink contrasts not only with Ben's greens, but also against the dark blue backgrounds. It is easier to clearly see her powers this way. Equally cynically, I think this was also a way to have her use her powers more often, while also lowering animation costs. Because all you really have to do is draw a shape, make it pink, make it slightly transparent, and bam, you've got Gwen powers. I mean, even look at the way that in the original series, the auras she had were always wavy. But in Alien Force, it's always just static shapes because that's easier to animate. Honestly, I've always wanted powers like this because they always felt super versatile to me. Very Scarlet Witch coded, but admittedly on a dollar store budget. And admittedly, Gwen is actually quite impressive with these abilities for the first 2 seasons. Her shields are actually super useful, her blasts actually work, and she gets a lot of moments to scare the ever-loving shit out of the group's enemies.
I have had it!
Not to mention, she feels a lot more thoughtful about the way that she uses her energy powers, using the platforms to walk in midair or creating energy bands to wrap around targets. The real point of contention, though, comes in the show's attempt to explain Gwen's magic. It's always that effort to explain how a thing works that fucks everything up, huh? Partway through season 1, we learn that Ben and Gwen have a grandmother, Verdona.
What rotten kids. Go away.
Verdona at first appears to be a sorceress with the same energy powers as Gwen.
Do that again.
No problem.
Incredible.
In truth, she is actually an Anodite, an alien race of energy beings who manipulate mana, or life energy, and can create physical bodies to inhabit.
Anodites are a race of free spirits with powers that humans can barely comprehend. Let me teach you to master life energy. That's what mana is.
Mature Anodites are pure energy. We draw life from the mana around us.
Verdona tries to convince Gwen to abandon her humanity and become a full Anodite, joining her on her homeworld of Anodyne to master her powers over the course of a cool 75 years.
You're just too young to make up your own mind. Let me help you. I'll destroy your body and free the Anodite inside. It'll be fun, and you'll be able to think much more clearly.
Nothing to an Anodite, but almost a whole lifetime for a human. Of course, Gwen chooses her humanity, and I do like this little storyline for her.
I am not going. I love having powers, but I like my life better. I like swimming and school and breaking boards with my hands and running and feeling tired afterward and kissing boys. I mean, all those good times you had with Grandpa? Grandma Verdona, admit it. You miss it, and you miss Max. That's what brought you here. I like my powers, but I love my friends and family. I'm not going with you, Grandma.
No, I don't believe you are.
It's not much, especially because she talks about enjoying human things we'd never see her doing because she has no personal life outside of all this, save for a very stressful episode of Ultimate Alien. But it's something, I guess. And it comes back in the season 2 finale, where Gwen nearly goes full Anodite to stop the hybrid.
I said, leave him alone!
and is stopped in time by Kevin, who serves as her love interest.
I think I can defeat the hybrid all by myself.
Your grandmother said it would take at least 75 years for you to master that power.
We don't have 75 years.
You'll lose your humanity. You won't remember Ben or me. Ben will find another way to win. You gotta come back to me, Gwen. I can't lose you, okay?
Now, the Anodite angle doesn't bother me all that much. I do feel like they should have done a better job integrating magic into Anodite powers while also exploring that distinction, but personally, I can see this concept working. The way I interpret this isn't mana and magic being interchangeable. Instead, I view it as mana being the fuel and magic being the application.
I studied my whole life, and you pick up my spellbook and you're instantly out magicking me.
You're not even in her league. She's an Anodite.
See, what you call magic is powered by mana or life energy.
You don't know anything. You're not even a real sorceress. You're an idiot savant.
Think of it like burning coal. The coal itself is the mana, the substance that you're using. Magic, meanwhile, is the act of burning the coal, in this case to cast spells. I'm not sure where basic mana energy powers fall in this, but personally, I tend to sort them into Anodite powers more than magic. I don't really consider it magic in Ben 10, unless there's a verbal spell being recited, which honestly, that's still not even enough for me a lot of the time, but again, we'll get there later. I do see how this bothers a lot of folks though, because altogether, it does give that Gwen's powers have been streamlined to the point of seeming nowhere as cool or mystical. It's that classic case of explaining a thing, sucking out all the mystery and intrigue, along with the fact that Gwen's powers are nowhere near as varied as they were in the classic series. No whirlwinds, no elemental powers, no summoning, and no levitation? Now that's a hate crime. How you gonna levitate at 10 and 10,000 and not 15? Excuse me? I would not mind the energy powers if she still got to use her spells first and foremost, the way that Gwen 10,000 does. I think that could even be fascinating, seeing Verdona look down on Gwen's use of magic compared to the way that Anodites use mana, and then seeing Gwen blend the two into her own style. But all this is nothing compared to what happens to Gwen starting in Season 3, God help us. So Alien Force Season 3 is, a mess. She's a fucking mess.
I'm not kidding, Ben. I'm really mad at you.
But you won't stay mad at me. I'm adorable.
You're completely full of yourself.
Which is forgivable because I'm so adorable.
Really, this era going forward, including Ultimate Alien, is high-key a mess that does try to stable itself, but ultimately, tends to feel quite stale to me, never reaching the heights of the first two seasons. A lot of this is due to executive meddling, who would have guessed? The production company that made Ben 10, Man of Action, had a lot more network interference with how they handled the show from this point, specifically because Cartoon Network's goal was using the show as a vehicle to sell more toys, and they viewed the show being more mature and grounded as getting in the way of that. Ben suffered the most from this. In the first two seasons, he was far more mature, taking situations seriously, with his goofy side being more well-timed and far less selfish than his child self.
Look around, Cash. We've all grown up, but you're still the same pathetic loser who has to torment others just to feel good about himself. You're just sad.
It did feel kinda similar to the issue with Gwen in having a lot of his personality overly smoothed out, but it still feels like Ben to me. But in Season 3, oh boy. Ben is even more insufferable than he was at 10.
That's because I saved the whole entire universe.
We know.
And though he gets a bit better, he's trapped in this never-ending loop of learning to keep his ego in check for the rest of this era. Possibly even into Omniverse, from what I've seen. Oh joy. Gwen and Kevin's personality didn't change as drastically because the executives don't fucking care about them, but hoo boy, they're way more useless now.
Oh, this is not good.
I assume as a way to make Ben's forms come off as cooler and more impressive so that kids will buy toys of them, the show continually nerfs Gwen and Kevin's abilities. Kevin never felt all that impressive or interesting to me power-wise, but good lord, Gwen never recovered. Season 3 opens on Gwen and Kevin fighting the joke villain, Serpent.
I am Serpent, the
snake that walks like a man.
A literal snake man who, now that I think about it, feels like Has-Been Hotel Serpentious in another life.
I'm off to not have sexual intercourse before marriage!
I did not need to know that.
In fact, I mistakenly called him Serpentious in this script. He wipes the floor with them to the point where they're stuck fighting him for over an hour, waiting for Ben to come save them.
That didn't take long.
We've been fighting that guy for over an hour.
Oh.
Oh? Where were you?
Watching some TV. Getting another medal.
Gwen keeps missing attacks. She can't keep Serpentious. See, I wrote Serpentious again. She can't keep Serpent in place with her energy bands. And the best she can do is a shield that Kevin gets slammed into.
I'm really sorry to disturb you, Ben. It's just that you're late for our mission. And the bad guy is kicking our butts.
And when Ben finally does arrive, he just one-shots the loser.
Is it okay if I call you Roadkill, the snake that only made it halfway across the street?
Yeah, it's to convey Ben's arrogance for the coming story, but wow, it was so not worth all the fucking character assassinations. It was just assassination after assassination up in this bitch. I'm Italian, and even I haven't seen that much assassination. Like, if this was seasons 1 and 2, Gwen and Kevin would have whooped Serpent's ass and turned him into a scaly scarf in 5-10 minutes most. And it only gets worse from here. Gwen generally just seems far less creative with the way that she uses mana from this point. Less constructs and inventive attacks, infused with some martial arts skills here and there, along with indirect ways of incapacitating enemies, and more energy bolts.
Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt!
Like, just look at the way she fights side by side, thankfully differentiated by her outfits.
If you two are here, I'll be unstoppable.
Then we better stop you now.
Essentially, she's gotten way less innovative with her moves, defaulting to generic blasts 9 times out of 10. And 9 times out of 10, they usually bounce right off the enemy or barely stagger them, if at all. Don't even get me started on her shields. Those things used to withstand so much force, the way flip phones could be dropped from the Empire State Building and survive. Now they're more fragile than the world economy. A sneeze could break through those things.
So not my day.
I have no interest in anything you might say.
Don't make me.
Like this moment in prisoner number 775 is missing. The alien that the group is after throws Kevin, and instead of, I don't know, dodging, Gwen just stands there and throws up a shield. Kevin breaks it and they both fall unconscious. You have no idea the primal rage that has been stewing within me since this aired in 2011. Like, this makes Gwen's shields look so pointless, and it also makes her look like an idiot.
Good thing she told us, otherwise I would have just stood there till I finally get hit.
Or another instance in Inferno, where Gwen is being an absolute menace to the villains.
Somebody do something about her!
And so local Nimrod Volcanus orders his minions to keep her busy with a forklift and drill. Gwen has to keep using shields to keep the giant drill from crashing down on her, and I'm just sitting here like, you can do more than one thing at a time, Gwen.
On the fourth cliff, air's a blur, untethered, wham into the plumbing.
You can't use your mana to shoot the guy driving it or topple the forklift over. Or here's another idea. Maybe use the shield as a chance to dodge and then come up with another strategy. Instead, she just kind of stands there, just making new shields every time they break. There's not even tension with the drill getting closer. She's just standing there, not even menacingly.
He's just standing there.
Menacingly! The premiere of Ultimate Alien doesn't do Gwen any favors either, but it is a pretty good premonition for what's coming.
Who are you? What are you?
She doesn't get much of a chance to fight the alien that the group is after, and when they discover his lair, she and Kevin get benched by him throwing a live cable at them.
That cable's live. If I drop the shield, it'll fry us.
Bunny burgers, anyone?
Gwen has to just stand there, keeping the shield up, because this cable is too frightening. The real reason for this is so Ben can have a chance to show off his ability to evolve his aliens into their ultimate forms, hence Ultimate Alien. But the whole time I'm sitting here like, Gwen, you have the ability to like morph your shield any way you like. You could just morph the shield to contain the cable and its electricity, or maybe make a second shield around the cable while you keep the first shield up. You could slowly back away from the cable while keeping the shield up, letting it fall to the ground. You could do any number of things, but nah, you've been defeated by a cable. I can't tell whether this is lamer than the Winx Club being defeated by a bird, or bamboo, or bananas, or any number of other things. And don't even get me started on the Agrigor arc. Like, bad enough when Agrigor, one of the most boring villains I've ever seen, wipes the floor with these idiots constantly without even trying. But then when he goes ultimate and looks like a giant fucking toy, Agrigor becomes an amalgamation of 5 different aliens with specific elemental affinities. One of these aliens, Galapagus, the big turtle boy who makes hurricanes with his chest, is supposedly immune to mana, and thus Agrigor is now immune to Gwen's attacks.
Eretico!
Did you know Galapagos's people can't be harmed by mana?
Not that they were doing much to begin with. Except we see earlier in the season, and even in the previous episode, Gwen is seen being able to attack and harm Galapagus with her mana.
Did you know Galapagos's people can't be harmed by mana?
Flashback.
So, Kikoza? Also, I just realized that Galapagus is a pun on Galapagos, as in the big Galapagos turtle boys, because he is a big turtle boy. God, I love this stupid fucking franchise. Charmcaster returns partway through Alien Force Season 3, which prompts Gwen to begin spellcasting again.
Gwen Tennyson. I've been waiting 5 years to say this. I love what you've done with your hair.
Oh my god, thank you!
They're not very impressive though. She doesn't use them nearly as often as her mana attacks, but when she does, half the time they're indistinguishable. Like most of the time she uses this spell Turbo, which manifests as a pink wind effect similar to regular mana attacks.
Turbo! Turbo!
Thanks.
Turbo! Turbo!
Or sometimes just as the same regular pink energy.
Turbo!
Same for Adficio Potentia, which honestly looks more like a regular mana attack that she would have used in the first 2 seasons of Alien Force.
Adficio Potentia!
Loser.
There are cool one-off spells, like the ones that she uses against Ultimate Kevin to wield the elements.
Tempestus Surrectum!
I'm not afraid of you.
You should be! Tempestus Impetus!
Or to summon Charmcaster's golems.
Silicus Miles Suscitatio!
but they're not nearly as varied as the spells from the original series, and they remain sparsely used and not integrated into her mana attacks, making them feel clunky. This makes teenage Gwen appear more like a spellcasting novice than preteen Gwen. Now, you might have noticed that through all of this, I have mostly kept the discussion to Gwen's powers rather than her character, and that is because she doesn't really get any character arcs to work with at all. Sometimes she'll be the focus of an episode, but she doesn't get nearly as much to work with compared to Ben and Kevin. Because the executive meddling required Ben's character to devolve and become more immature, it also meant that he, and by extension Gwen and Kevin, weren't allowed to majorly change in terms of personality or life for fear of scaring away or boring the toy-buying children.
We've got to have money.
So Ben and Kevin wind up repeating their arcs over and over. Ben learns to be less selfish and that he's a hero without the Omnitrix several times.
You know what? It wasn't the watch that was special. It was you. How many times have you helped people?
I don't know. Lots. But I had the Omnitrix.
And how many of those times was the Omnitrix out of power or broken?
It almost never works right.
And Kevin has to resist the temptation of power and murder over and over.
That's not you talking! Absorbing energy makes Osmosians lose control!
Yeah? Well, I like being out of control. I deserve that power. I'm the one who gets turned into a monster. I'm the one nobody ever trusts or cares about.
That's not true!
Face it, Gwen, whatever I look like, I'm a freak.
You're a jerk. You've always been a jerk. People try to be nice to you, but you can't ever see it. You're too busy feeling sorry for yourself.
Gwen doesn't really get anything equivalent to this, likely because she's supposed to be the mature, composed force which grounds the boys. Oh good, it's Aqua in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep all over again.
Well, yes.
The closest that Gwen gets to any kind of lesson or development is Time Heals, when she goes back in time to prevent an accident which mutates Kevin, resulting in Hex and Charmcaster taking over the world and killing her.
'Cause I killed you once, and now I'm gonna do it again.
Sure, why not? I mean, it gave us some iconic moments like Gwen breaking Charmcaster's jaw.
Killing me is not cool.
Because I'm totally gonna kill her again.
You must learn patience, my dear niece.
But not right away. First, I'm going to kill her.
You need to stop saying that.
Low-key, during the Agrigor arc in Ultimate Alien, I kinda wish Gwen got obsessed with power and turned evil instead of Kevin. The Ultimate Kevin storyline is meant to be a more dramatized, serious version of what he went through in the original series.
You're out of your depth, hatchling.
You don't scare me. I'm an Osmosian just like you.
No, not like me. Not even close.
Agrigor's an Osmosian like me. Maybe I just feel responsible.
A sort of final test for Kevin.
Because I'm Osmosian? Because absorbing energy causes insanity? Lies. Told by the powerful to control the weak.
It's not a lie. It happened to me when I was a kid. You won't be able to help yourself.
But Kevin doesn't really get to play a role in breaking himself free from his addiction to power. It's everybody else arguing about what to do about Kevin and then draining the power out of him, after which everything is magically fixed.
We expected Heat Blast and the others to get their powers back.
But even the energy Agrigor still went back where it belongs.
And returned us from oblivion.
Yeah, I don't like the finale. I don't. Regardless, it always felt redundant to me, as Kevin had already been proving himself for this entire era up until this point.
We were arch enemies, and now you're like the big brother I never had.
I was trying to kill you before you made me nauseous with all the sincerity.
Guess there's a reason guys don't talk about this stuff. Unless you want to talk about this stuff.
Okay. I like the Kevin that Gwen sees when she looks at me. And I like that you gave me another chance, even after I messed up all those other ones. I guess I'm saying I owe you guys for changing my life.
Ben or Gwen would have been better choices to force them to walk in Kevin's shoes. Gwen specifically, I think, would have been a great choice, and it makes me wonder if Ben would be as ready to do what was necessary if it was his cousin he had to eliminate.
Kevin's been missing for over a week.
Not missing. He left us. His choice.
No, Ben. It's not his fault. He touched the Ultimatrix to save us. It's not his fault the power affected his mind.
Maybe not. But fair or not, he has to pay the price. You see what Kevin's capable of now.
That's why we have to help him.
I think we're past that. I think we have to put him down.
What's that supposed to mean?
There's even accidental foreshadowing for this. One of the earlier episodes involves Ben's enemies targeting his parents now that the world knows his identity, leading to the evil clown Zombozo kidnapping his mother. Just go with it, please.
Your old power draining trick won't work this time. I'm way better at magic than I used to be. Huh?
You really ought to watch where you're going, Missy. If they ain't careful, a person can get hurt.
Gwen is continually knocked out and defeated by Zombozo, which is so embarrassing. Girl, make a shield. At least I'll have a second to respect you before the silly string breaks it. But Gwen does get this badass moment where, in her rage to save her aunt, she breaks free and goes full Anodite.
How did you...
You have no idea who you're dealing with.
We've seen what your cousin can do.
I'm not talking about him.
Warning Zombozo, and through him all the baddies, to leave the Tennyson family alone.
As of right now, the Tennyson family is off limits. If any of you ever attacks one of our loved ones, or hurts one of our loved ones, or even bumps into someone we love in the street, this is what awaits you.
She didn't kill him, as we see Zombozo again in Omniverse, and she did kinda need him as a messenger, but given Zombozo was exploded from being scared by Ghost Freak in the original,
No more!
Oh, that kind of even freaked me out.
we can assume Gwen also blew him up. The episode ends ambiguously, with Gwen not outright confirming what she did to Ben and Kevin, and some very eerie, dramatic music.
Where's Zombozo?
You don't have to worry about him anymore. We came to an understanding.
What a perfect way to suggest that Gwen might be willing to cross that moral event horizon if given the right circumstances, which could draw closer and closer the worse things get. And think about how helpless she must have felt against Ultimate Agrigor.
Fuck you!
Again, he is allegedly immune to mana because he absorbed Turtle Boy.
Your mana attacks can't touch me.
Even though Gwen could hurt Turtle Boy beforehand, ignore that point. Stupid, but the show keeps emphasizing it, mostly to show Gwen being a fucking idiot.
Mana.
But there's this moment in Perplexihedron, I love that word, where Gwen is separated from Ben and Kevin, and she winds up running into Agrigor. Agrigor just ignores her, not seeing her as a threat worthy of eliminating, but Gwen keeps insisting that he fight her.
Don't ignore me. Come back. I'm talking to you.
You amuse me less and less.
Why she doesn't bust out some spells to see if those would affect Agrigor is beyond me, but imagine how frustrating this must be for Gwen. Agrigor is on the verge of winning and attaining true ultimate power, and her friends are in danger, and she cannot do anything to help. Imagine that pushing her over the edge and going full Anodite. She actually loses her humanity the way that she's always been afraid of. And then the remainder of the season, well, maybe it's not necessarily Gwen going evil, but her becoming callous and cold, with Ben and Kevin desperate to try and bring her back to her humanity. Ugh, I would kill for that. Then you get season 2 of Ultimate Alien, which does have an overarching story, but is mostly self-contained episodic adventures. Admittedly, while I enjoy this approach in something like Justice League Unlimited, I don't really like it here. Probably because JLU has a revolving ensemble cast to keep things fresh, and characters in that show are actually, allowed to develop and change. Season 2's plot is the Dagon arc, named for the horrifying eldritch abomination based on H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythos.
I'm everywhere.
The attempt at Lovecraftian horror does make sense, since this is a franchise all about aliens, and extra-dimensional hell gods technically do fall into that category. But a lot of that horror gets lost in translation, because Ben 10 is an action series which can't really do a lot of that subtle horror. I mean, I've seen the Alien Force concept art. There was a lot of outright horror with how these aliens were gonna look, and then Cartoon Network was like, I don't think we can sell that as a toy. Could you maybe, like, you know, tone it down, guys? Ugh, losers, cowards. Look at Humongosaur's concept art. He looks like such a cute, stupid boy. I love him. Anyway, Lovecraftian horror tends towards the existential, how fundamentally small and meaningless humans are in the grand scheme of things. The universe is vast, dark, and cold, full of unfathomable evils that never bother with us because we're too insignificant to come up on their radar. And then you have Ben turning into an alien to punch the cosmic evil in the face. Okay. Way to miss the point of the psychological horror, I guess. Okay. Gwen is continually possessed by Dagon and his little monster minions.
How may I serve the Great One?
Even referred to as the most powerful being in her world because of her Anodite abilities.
Yes, you are such simple creatures, so easy to manipulate. The most powerful being in your world is at my command. Break the seal, my Anodite.
Easy enough, Master.
She is the one who breaks the seal, which allows Dagon to enter our dimension. And for that, Gwen doesn't really get to do a lot in this arc.
That thing was in my head, controlling me like a puppet. I cannot tell you how disgusting that was. Why didn't I fight it?
Nor is it about much beyond Ben, again, learning about arrogance and not forcing his answers on everyone, paralleled with another character I also don't care about. God fucking damn it.
Don't you see, Ben? It's the power. You're tempted, like I was tempted to go full Anodite.
And like when I lost control of my powers.
You can't force your answers on everybody. After everything we've been through, is this the way you want it all to end?
Also, I have beef with Girl Trouble.
Who are you? Hey, Gwendy. Don't you remember your favorite cousin?
Ben and Gwen having a random Anodite cousin, being stupid aside, and also dismissing her being Gwen with black hair. Ugh, God, you wish you were Blackfire. I just hate how helpless this makes Gwen look.
I doubt.
She's pretty powerful. How come you can't do that?
Because shut up.
Hadn't looked at it like that.
Sunny is a selfish, thrill-seeking Anodite who wants to party hard on Earth with her alien boyfriend, Antonio.
A token of a love so strong that no force in the universe can deny it. Not even your Aunt Natalie.
Oh, Antonio, you're so romantic.
And she beats the shit out of Gwen when Gwen tries to stop her from wreaking havoc.
I'm telling your mom and dad. No!
What follows is 5 minutes of Sunny beating the ever-loving shit out of Gwen, as every attack on Gwen's part is easily negated.
Oh, wow. Is that the best you can do? You stink at this.
Yeah, this does track with Sunny being a full Anodite, so naturally she's gonna be better at the mana stuff. And Gwen does find a smart workaround by quietly calling Verdona for help.
I'm not as powerful as you. I'll give you that. But Grandma Verdona, on the other hand?
But she couldn't even bust out some magic to trip Sunny up. You know, the things Sunny can't do because Anodites are too good for that magic crap. Ugh. There is one episode called It's Not Easy Being Gwen, which follows Gwen's daily routine. Though personally, I feel a better title for this episode would be Burnout to Mental Breakdown Simulator. Because, dear Lord, Gwen gets home late often from her missions, then only has 2 hours of sleep before waking up early and going for runs, during which she also has to practice her French.
Would you like some grapefruit? Voudriez-vous du pamplemousse?
Voudrez-vous du pamplemousse?
Then she has to deal with all her schoolwork, balancing it with saving the day, learning that Ben gets a pass to leave school whenever he wants to do hero stuff and she does not.
Did you know that he could get a pass to go off campus anytime he wants?
And also is confronted by her friend Emily about how Gwen's duties make her neglect their friendship.
But look, how often do we just hang anymore? And different schools won't help any.
I didn't realize it was so important, Em.
No, You didn't.
Oh, also Gwen's mom sucks.
Sweetie, this is family, and more importantly, this is my family. When I got married, I knew the Tennysons were a little odd, but I had no idea.
He got away again. Ben's using wild mud to trap.
Gwen's dad is the Tennyson, and her mom is openly disinterested and even hostile to all of the alien stuff. She doesn't like Verdona. She makes snide remarks about Grandpa Max and Ben.
So no Tennysons at all? Not even Ben or Grandpa?
Ben's table manners leave a bit to be desired, and Grandpa Max dresses like he's on vacation in Vegas.
And she even makes a remark about how she's grateful that Gwen hides her alien heritage while she's around.
I'm not judging them, but let's face it, polite people don't glow.
I glow.
Not around me.
Never mind her pressuring Gwen into writing dozens of handwritten invitations in one night while she is also clearly busy with at least 7 other tasks at the moment.
When can I have these?
You sure I can't just run them through the printer? I may have to finish tonight. Crazy day.
What about your free study block?
I have to study.
After school?
Karate.
Like, there's a strained relationship here that warrants exploring for Gwen, and it doesn't even feel like something the story even considers touching on. Like, are you kidding me? This is a rich tapestry. Gwen really deserved better. I still love her, but it's harder and harder to reckon with the fact that the story just is not interested in her at all, whether her character or her powers. This era as a whole is low-key far more of a mess than I realized when I was younger, but I also find that kind of fascinating, because it also makes me appreciate the things of the original series that I never fully registered. Plus, it gets the rewrite gears going, you know, as if I didn't have enough fucking projects going at once. I at least hope this helps my fellow Gwen stans find solace, because apparently there's only like 5 of us, and we need some more gays talking about Ben 10, I say. Anyhow, if you enjoyed this video and like to see more content like this from me, then be sure to subscribe and ring that bell for notifications because YouTube hates creators. And also please consider, if you're willing and able, pledging your support over on Patreon. I'm the Unicorn of War, and Gwen's life is high-key a shit show. Oh my god.